we do have vampires around us. Crucial 13, that's what's up. Shout out to you.
I feel like every time Crucial ever talked, it was making mad sense.
Yeah, we out here. Let's see what that is. Time to talk about something very important. You know, as Halloween gets closer. You know, during the Halloween time, I look at it like we gotta, you know, get ready to do battle, or, you know, you gotta start getting ready for this fall, you know, which goes hand in hand with the fall of you from a high vibration to a low vibration. So you gotta start dealing with the demons that, you know, harvest your energy throughout the year. You know, you actually, you know, are more vulnerable to being fed off of during these type of times, and then heading into the winter. And a lot of people, you know, they think it's all external. They feel like this devil or whatever, the demons, the energy vampires, low vibrational beings, whatever, aliens, I don't know what you call this shit. You know, let's just call it, you know, dark energy entities, or not energy because they ain't energy, but dark entities. They think all that shit is just external, and it's something that, you know, ain't close or near to them. This shit be, you know, these beings, they manifest through you, and you know they operate through frequencies. So, you know, the more negative, low vibrational you are, the easier you become, you know, inhabited. So yes, even if you think, you know, being mean to somebody because you feel like you're doing the right thing or something like that, even then you should know that something is, you know, operating you. Something is using you as a vessel. Like, for instance, it's a lot of leftists that, you know, they think it's cool for people to get shot for having a different opinion than them, because they being taught that the whole world is Nazis or some crazy stupid shit like that. So they say nasty things to people like this, but little do they know that when they got these nasty things to say about people and all that, it's really something low vibrational in there using them as a vessel. And, you know, until they check that in, they'll never realize that. But, you know, these times is a good chance to check a lot of that shit in, you know, around this type of time. If you feel yourself becoming a little bit too judgmental of people, if you feel yourself becoming a little bit mean, and yes, like I said, you're gonna justify it. That's what these demons like to do. They like to convince you to justify it so you feel good keeping them inhabited in there, keeping them in the temple. So they gonna tell you, they gonna trick your mind into thinking that you're doing something righteous and doing something right. I don't care what nobody says, dog. These things is out here, you know, moving within the shadows, and they not gonna tell you that they're there. So a lot of y'all might be like, I ain't never seen that. Yeah, they not gonna fucking show theyself, man. You gotta be careful what's really lurking in these shadows, man, because they're there. All right, and it starts at just checking yourself. I'm telling you, you keep looking out there and you keep thinking you're safe because you ain't see a fucking red jackass with horns, like how them religions tell you. See, they give you the image, so you never know, you never think you see this shit. But this shit, these things is moving through you. They moving through people, and it starts with that vibration. So I say, watch people who's over judgmental. Watch people who's, you know, negative all the time. Watch people who lies. Watch people who gaslight you. Watch, not even just gaslight you. Watch how they gaslight other people. Watch, this is all low vibrational. This is all trace of the devil, trace of the energy vampires, trace of them. Watch people who do this type of shit. And we so programmed to just think that negative actions of humans is just, you know, a human trait and all that type of stuff. We programmed to just, oh, that dude's mean, that dude's this, that dude's that, oh, that's just how he is. And you don't even know that you looking at a devil, you listening to a devil, you seeing the devil, and you don't even know it, because they figured out how to disguise themselves so cold, you know. That's how these things did on this planet, man. Whenever they harvest planets like that, and these things do it all over the place. Yeah, we not the only planet out here that done got this shit done to them. So that's their MO, is hijacking planets, but learning how to disguise themselves and, you know, take it over from within, which, you know, is pretty much how the politics do too. I mean, look at communism and all that other type of stuff, Marxism and shit. They always do it from within. That comes from these energy vampires. When you want to lower the frequency of the planet, or lower the frequency of a nation, because they go country to country, so you lower the frequency there, you do it from within. Oh, that shit look crazy over there. You hear that? That light is over there tripping. Hold up. Should I go over there? Hell no. I'll look at it from over here though. Oh shit, there go the police right there. They looking to see what's happening. He probably want to talk to me or something. Okay. All right, so while they still, you know, looking for something over there, continue. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of this shit is still just, you know, closer than you think. And a lot of y'all, you can't see past your own bullshit to understand that you being, you know, used and occupied by demons and shit. Any one of y'all ever just thought you was on demon time and all that? Well, yes, you was. You was really, you know, possessed, and you don't believe in possession because a lot of y'all good books was tampered with and told you that they can't possess you. Oh, yes, the fuck they can. I don't care what none of y'all say. You could come in my comments saying that, oh, but you can't be possessed. Yeah, you can. Anytime somebody commit a messed up act, is because they possessed. It's only right and wrong. Can't no child of God or anything like that commit murder on somebody, you know, do some of this type of stuff, you know, obviously, unless you really defending yourself. But, you know, frequency and vibration will lead you down that road anyway. So, you know, you got to check your frequency when shit like that's going on. You know what I mean? You might be somewhere you're not supposed to be, and that's all because of that. You know how they operate in the frequencies. But people who done did cannibalism and hurt kids and did all that nefarious shit, that's them demons. It ain't the human. The human don't got that just lying dormant in them. Oh, that means you already had that in you. The devil just pushed you to do it. No. You at your natural state is a righteous child of the creator. Creators, or, you know, creation. You are creation in your purest form. You not starting off as a demon. You're not a demon. Your energy is the opposite of the death force. You're a life force. You know? There's no way that is innately who you is. All that stuff that comes after that, everything negative, you're really a righteous, positive, you know, natural, loving, truthful energy. You know, surge of energy. You're nothing like these demons. Okay, so anytime you do anything like that, is because your frequency is low and your doors is open. You're able to be tampered with by these things. It's just how it goes. I don't care what nobody says. That's how it is. You know? Look at these fools be tripping out here, man. this how, you know, this how the white people are. They be driving on the street screaming and shit. They got the beast in them because they've been drinking down the block over there. They opened up a bar over here. So people was over here drinking them spirits, screaming down the street like dumbass, you know? But it's all good. They just having fun, you know, like we used to, you know, back when I was on Demon Time. See, except a lot of y'all is so possessed by the devil that you won't admit it, that you actually doing wrong and shit like that. A lot of people do wrong and then justify it. I was a different type of motherfucker, man. When I went out doing bullshit to people and all that type of stuff, bro, we called that shit being on bullshit. There ain't nothing righteous about being on bullshit, if you know what I'm talking about. You're supposed to own up to that. That's the only way to actually realize what you're doing is wrong so you could change, is own up to it. That's one thing these demons do not want you to do. I know that. They want to keep telling you, hey, no, it's right to do this. That person hurt you. That person did this. Go get him. He did this. You could say this about that person. They wrong anyway. You got a right to say this. That's why a lot of y'all justify what you do, because you got that demon on you. Now, next time you see somebody doing something wrong or saying something wrong to somebody or about somebody, or just being wicked and mean, or being, you know, just being, you know, just negative, low vibrational, remember what I said. Always look at their eyes. It's always in the eyes. You can see that devil. I don't care what they talking about. They could be like, I'm a warrior for God, or I'm doing this for God, or no, you look at their eyes and you gonna see some foul shit. I don't care what they talking about. Okay? Remember I said that, because you gotta know what you're looking at out here. You know what I mean? Gotta know what you're looking at. It's a lot of shit out here that, you know, is disguising itself, and they know how to use your mind against you. So cold. They always gonna infiltrate that mind. That's why a lot of people, you're supposed to really get that mind under order, you know, in check. You know, your mind could turn on you, and it's because they in control of that shit. You know, one thing they can't control is that intuition, though. That's your innate state, your natural state. You know, your intuition. When you just turn off your mind and then just start going with the flow. That's why the best athletes and all that, they'll tell you, when they stop thinking and they just start reacting and going by reflex and all that other type of stuff, being present, that's your natural state. You know, it's the opposite of the mind. That's why once they get you thinking and overthinking, that's when, you know, that's when they can get you. Even the wrestlers would say that. Stone Cold said it the best. He said, when you're thinking, you're stinking. You know, you just got to go with the flow. You got to let what happens dictate what's going to happen, what's going to keep happening. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of y'all mind could trick you. You could start, you know, overthinking. Then you could start justifying what you're doing instead of being like, you know what? Hold up. Why am I thinking like this? Why am I, you know, I'm over here being negative toward people. I'm being low vibrational. You know, you're going to start realizing. Then you're going to start checking yourself like, okay, I don't want to think like that. Now ask yourself, why is it times where you would start being negative, but then you'll check yourself? You know, there's something called checking yourself. You would check yourself, but you would never once think that the way I was just thinking when I was being mean to somebody, or I was being, you know, just overly barren or whatever, you never thought to yourself that that was something else in there doing that. You just be like, oh, I was tripping. No, you weren't tripping. You were being possessed. Now ain't that some shit to think about? You know, you really be out here being possessed by something, and you don't even realize it. You think it's just you. You take credit for that shit. Oh, I'm just a savage. No, you're not no fucking savage. That ain't your natural state. Your natural state is a loving human being, a loving ball of light. Huh? You a righteous child of the Most High. You don't got nothing negative about you. If there, and a lot of y'all who do the justifying think you're just fighting for good, if there wasn't no bad out here, you wouldn't have nothing to fight. So remember who you are, okay? And remember, we at a time in this planet where we really supposed to just be, you know, focusing on getting our soul right so we can leave when this planet do what it got to do. You think you're going to get dragged up to heaven or some shit like that? Nah, you got to do some shit to prepare your soul for takeoff, like you a freaking spaceship. You got to make sure that's right. You're not just going to blink yourself up out of here and your soul ain't right, and God or the Most High gonna be like, yeah, let's just get him because I know his heart. No, your heart got to be lighter than a feather. Heavy-hearted people not gonna get to where we gotta go. And a lot of y'all who think you fighting evil and all that type of stuff, you got a heavy heart. Not a lot of y'all, all of y'all who are fighting at all got a heavy heart. You supposed to weigh your heart next to a feather, and it's supposed to be lighter than a feather. All right? Shit, a lot of y'all just don't understand this. You think you're going to be out here, and then the funny thing is people that's fighting for God or whatever still ain't fight their own demons. Still ain't, that's why you got the fighting spirit in you. The fighting spirit is a demonic spirit. If you wouldn't have that if you was actually cleaning up yourself and you was actually, you know, cleansing and getting your soul right, weighing your heart next to a feather, getting your heart light, you know, staying energetic, huh? See, y'all out here, this really be like this. That's the last stage right there for people that's getting right with their soul. The last stage is we like to fight with people. We like to argue. I do it. You know, there's times I'm over there just arguing with Democrats and liberals and shit, which is a sure sign that I got something in there that wants me to argue and fight. And right then and there, you hear me saying that, you should be like, you know what? Okay, dude actually standing on what he doing. You know, dude actually fighting demons himself, but dude actually acknowledging it. A lot of y'all won't acknowledge that, so these things can keep playing with you and toying with you. But you know, you gotta, if you're not gonna, you know, go at if you're not gonna show people actions and you're not gonna show people, you know, the spirit of things, and instead you are attacking people, you're going after people and stuff like that, you for sure got something in there that wants that person you going after, that wants that person's soul. You know what I mean? It wants you and that person. So you got to be careful, because that entity that's in you telling you to attack that person also got something in that person, and they communicating to each other. Yeah, it gets spooky. We're gonna go way deep into that one too. All right, I got a lot of stories about this type of shit where these things is so much in cahoots, and they passing through body to body, that they communicating with each other. Hey, make him do this, make him do this. Okay, I got this one over here, we're gonna do this. You know, just like when you fighting with somebody, dog, that their spirit is right there, puppet mastering everybody. You know, you gotta watch out, because we in the time right now where Halloween coming. This gonna be where a lot of this shit's gonna start going crazy, because this the fall coming. Fall already started. So, you know, we had our fun in the sun. It's still nice over here though, right now, but it's technically fall. You know, so you just gotta keep an eye on these things, man. Keep an eye on what I'm telling you about. You see anybody out here just being negative, remember what I said. They got a demon on them. They got a demon on them. The more the more hate they could attract toward one person, the better for them. They got all y'all collective hate. See, y'all think y'all banding together and hurting one person when you attack these people, say in your real life or say online. A lot of y'all do it online. You attack somebody. You think you and all these people are attacking this person, but what you're doing is you're feeding yourself to these demons. Once you get in that low vibrational state, they just opened up another door. It's like a green light just went off, and now these things could come fucking with you. So when one person starts rallying y'all up to go after people, that one person just greenlit all of y'all. So remember when I say that, you think you attacking one person and that one person is getting all the hate to himself. But no, a lot of y'all is gonna suffer for that. You're being fed on for that. You know? And you can't tell me one human being that feels good after they get done fighting, arguing, or anything. It never feels good. You know why? Because you just got drained. Something was up in there draining you. You going to bed drained. Oh, shit. You know? It's sometimes I go to sleep, dude. I can't wait to wake up. You know, because I'm going to bed with a light heart. I'll jump right out of bed when I get up. Y'all keep that in mind, dude. These demons are closer to y'all than you think. They in there with you. You think this shit is out there because you've been told that the devil is a red guy with horns. No, you're the red guy with horns. You're the demon. Okay? You got that shit in you. And it's all about cleansing. That's why it's all about cleansing, dude. So these things can't possess you. Now, I always talk about energy vampires harvesting energy. Now I'm about to start really just saying what it is. They're possessing you. Okay? We're getting down to that time where I'm about to just start being blunt. Saying what it is. I'm going to stop trying to sugarcoat because I just don't want to run people off. You know, and this is mostly for TikTok and all that, because you know YouTube's not gonna push my videos like they once used to. TikTok, they push your videos like YouTube used to. It don't matter what type of creator you is, as long as the video is being searched or the type of stuff that you put in the keywords and all that type of stuff is being searched, your video is gonna come up. They haven't destroyed the fucking site yet, so I love TikTok right now, and Trump just saved it, I guess. So. You know, I'm noticing less and less of my content getting banned. You know, so it's pretty good. But yeah, man, we gonna gonna make sure I start being, telling y'all the real and what's going on and all that. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. It's Crucial. I ain't woke. I'm up. Peace, love, 13.
We do have vampires around us. Crucial 13, that's what's up. Shout out to you.
I feel like every time Crucial ever talked, it was making mad sense. Get Crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this. Look at it. This is the city I'm in right now.